What's up, Redemption? How you doing? John Hendricks here, as always, with another episode of the Threshing Floor podcast. And on this week's episode, I've got a very special guest. My son's been dying to be on the podcast, so this week I obliged him and let him join me. And we're going to be going over a ton of spoilers, some information that came out about Nationals, about the closed categories and the prices for those. And we'll also be bringing you the first winner of our 6-week giveaway, the first winner of the first play mat that is being provided by our sponsors at Covenant Games. And so we'll go over that, announce the winner there, and give the question for next week's giveaway. And we also have an exclusive spoiler that you'll only hear about here on the Threshing Floor. So without further ado, we'll get into it. Thanks for being here. All right, John Hendricks here, as always, for episode number 28 of The Threshing Floor. I have a very special guest with me. The episode that I had lined up, due to schedule conflicts, I was not able to get that done. So I've got a very special guest for you, so I'm going to let him introduce himself.
Hello, my name is Keegan, and
Keegan who?
Keegan Hendricks.
Keegan Hendricks, like John Hendricks?
Yes.
Are we related?
Yes.
How are we related?
Because our last name is both Hendricks.
That's how we're related?
Yes. And you're my dad.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am sure.
Okay. All right. So we'll be going over some recent news that has come out as far as Nationals goes. And we'll hit that, and then there's a few other things, and then we'll get into announcing the week 1 giveaway and the person that won that, and then we'll get right into the spoilers. So this is going to be a shorter, more condensed episode than normal, but due to baseball and things, that's kind of what it's got to be. We had a tournament this weekend, and we ended up coming in second place for the tournament. We went 5-1 in the tournament and lost in the championship game. But
we lost by 1.
Yeah, we lost 15-14. But my voice is potentially trying to give out, so bear with me. And we'll try to get over all of this. So as far as new content, Redemption with Jaden last Thursday did a couple of games where they did no ban redemption. So this was just no holds barred, hardcore, like if cards never got banned, erratas were not a thing. And so they played those games with like no holds barred, just all out. And it was, the Widow combo, Life in the Sun, versus Love at First Sight from last year. And then Throne versus, I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember off the top of my head now. Throne versus, that's right, it was Children of Light. So you can go and watch Throne versus Children of Light, and then Widow, Life in the Sun versus Love at First Sight. Those were some pretty interesting games. They were done on live stream, but the playback video is available on Redemption with Jaden. Rob M Studios this week also released a video of GOC Phase 1 only gameplay, which isn't an official category. GOC only won't become an official category until we have both phases in hand. But this kind of, was just a test run of it. And you can go and watch that video on Rob M Studios on YouTube. And you can kind of see what GOC only is starting to shape up, knowing, obviously, we're going to get double the amount of cards and more themes and things that you can do. But you can kind of see how it plays, at least with Phase 1. So go and check that out. As far as Nationals, we do have some information from Nationals, our update for Nationals from Gabe. And that is going to be that Nationals, we now have category prices for closed categories like sealed deck and booster draft. We were waiting on cost and availability of product to know what those prices were going to be. So as of now, we know that booster draft is going to be $30, and it's going to have 5 packs of GOC super packs that will include Phase 1 and Phase 2 combined in those packs. That will be $30. And then sealed deck will be using Israel's Deliverance, the K and L decks, plus 2 card boxes. And that is going to be $20. And all of the other categories, so your teams, Type 1, Type 2, Type A, are going to be $10 each. As far as the winter promos, we now know that the winter promos are going to be in the new foil. So the new foil cards that were mentioned a while back that they were testing, they are going ahead and they have already been sent to the printer. All of the winter promos and the worker promo will be in the new foil. As far as reading between the lines, it looks like just the only one that won't be foil as far as national promos is the participation promo. I know there's been a lot of interest in potentially purchasing starter decks, extra copies of them. So we do have information on that. There are 100 copies of each deck that are going to be printed for nationals. And Cactus Games will be selling decks not needed for the sealed deck event. And those decks will cost $12.50 each or $25 for a pair. And due to the limited supply, these will be limited to 1 pair per player. So there's that. And just throw in a quick reminder that the Lackey Grand Prix, both the Classic and the Rotation, is still ongoing. So make sure you're getting your games in for that. Also, the Zoom and Discord Invitational has, it's been ongoing and it is still going. So make sure you get your games if you're signed up for that. But I believe I saw this and I didn't double check, but you can always feel free to reach out to Rob M and double check with him. But I believe I saw where he was taking signups for the next run of the Discord Invitational, the Zoom Discord Invitational. So, all right. Hey, Keegan.
What?
You think we should give somebody a playmat?
Yes.
What kind of playmat you think we should give them? One that says the threshing floor?
Yes, I was going to say that.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, don't you have one?
I do have one.
So you're going to give that one away, or you're going to buy another one and spend money?
No, I don't have to spend money because the podcast is now sponsored by Covenant Games, the revamped Covenant Games. My friend John Early buying into that and taking part ownership of that is now sponsoring the podcast, and he is getting playmats made with the threshing floor. And we are giving away 4 of those for 4 weeks, and then 2 weeks we'll be giving away a playmat and a contender deck. So if you sent your answer in to me last week, I do have that. And right now I am about to open my phone and we're going to spin the wheel. I am using an app called Tiny Decisions. I have entered everyone's name and we are going to spin this wheel. I'm going to let my beautiful assistant here click it and we'll find out where it ends. And we have a winner, the first winner, the week 1 winner of the first threshing floor playmat is going to be my buddy Rob M from New York, of Rob M Studios.
He's from New York?
He is from New York.
That's cool. I know how New York was named.
How was it named?
It was named after the Duke of York.
Nice. All right, so Rob M, congratulations. You have won yourself a playmat. And so with that, we'll roll into the question for this week's playmat. So you don't have to listen too long into the podcast to get this. But this week's question is going to be more of a riddle. And here it goes. I am both old and new. I can help you out if you get into a battle, although I prefer not to brag. So, I am both old and new. I can help you out if you get into a battle, but I do not like to brag. So, Last week's question, I think, was a little more on the difficult. You had to look for it. So I went a little easy this week. So that's the riddle for this week's question, and you can submit those using the same form, and we will get you entered into the drawing for next week. So as it stands right now, Rob, you can't. I mean, you can enter, but you can't win again until potentially the contender deck giveaways in weeks 5 and 6. And if you win that, then we'll come back, and everyone that was involved in this drawing for week 1, I'll save the names and we'll spin it again and give that playmat away if Rob happens to win one of the contender decks and playmats in weeks 5 and 6. All right, so after we've figured out the winner there, we are going to roll right into the new spoilers. And these first 2 spoilers, you might be interested to know this, Keegan, is from the new starter decks. There are new starter decks coming, and they will be available, like I mentioned before, at Nationals for the first time. And these are actually 2 cards from the new starter decks. So the first card, do you want to take a stab at reading that?
Sure.
Read it into the mic, bud.
It says...
That word is taunting.
Taunting the Lord.
Taunting the Lord.
I was about to say turning the Lord.
Okay. And it is a black mono brigade evil enhancement whose numbers is 6-0.
And its ability is negate a good enhancement, bounce a hero.
And what does bounce a hero mean?
Put it back in your hand.
Nice. Or you can bounce the opponent's hero. So you can put it back in their hand, but it returns to the owner's hand. So those are simple. That's a simple card, simple ability. You know exactly how to use that, don't you?
Yes.
Okay. That's what we're going for with the starter decks, is that they're simple and easy to use for the target audience of teaching how to play. So that works. The next card from the starter decks that we had spoiled this week is a mono green brigade good enhancement, and it is called Consecration. And its ability, Keegan, you want to try to read that ability?
Yes. It says negate, eat, and discard a evil enhancement. You may draw 1.
Yes.
I read it before podcast.
Way to do your homework there. So negate and discard an evil enhancement. You may draw 1. So pretty straightforward. And those are 2 easy to understand cards. And that kind of shows what the starter decks are going to be, that they're easy to understand and whatnot.
Is the third card going to be in the starter deck?
No, the third card here starts our spoilers from phase 2 for this week. This card is called Temptation in the Wilderness. This is a dual alignment good and evil enhancement. So on the good side, it's Silver Brigade. And on the evil side, it's Orange Brigade. Both sides are territory class. So the good side says, place in territory. While a character is blocking, you may banish this card to add your Gospel Angel to battle. And on the evil side, Keegan, you want to read that?
Yes.
Into the mic, bud. We're going to have to train him up, guys.
Is that word place?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I wasn't sure. Place on a
Unique
demon. If you block with it, you may choose a hero to attack.
Okay. So place on a unique demon. If you block with it, you may choose a hero to attack. So this is a dual alignment card that has a pretty good ability on both sides. So it's battle extension on your if you have it placed as a good enhancement, Silver Brigade. And then on the evil side, the orange side, placed on a unique demon. If you block with it, you may choose a hero to attack. Choose the attacker ability with demons. Man, GOC Orange is looking more and more fun. Yeah, you can choose. So when they come into battle, you can block with that demon if it's got that placed on it, and then you can choose a hero to attack. So it'll kick out all of their heroes except for the one that you choose.
And you can choose the worst as hero.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna choose the worst as hero next time we play. If we play with these Stars X, you're done for.
That's not in the starter deck. Remember, that's in GOC Phase 2.
So
it'll be when we buy when Daddy buys his boxes, and we get the new cards. Those are coming out at Nationals. All right, so the next card is going to be a orange Mono Brigade Demon. It's a generic one, and it is territory class. Numbers are 2 and 1. It's called Restless Spirit. And this special ability says protect your other orange gospel cards in territories and evil New Testament fortresses in set-aside area from good cards. If blocking, you may take a New Testament orange card from reserve. So, this is a card that lets you put to very good use another spoiler that came out, and I didn't do it first, even though it was spoiled first in the order of this week. But it goes perfectly with this, and that is the new Suicidal Swine Stampede. And it is a evil character that is crimson and orange, and also then a orange Mono Brigade evil enhancement.
Why does it have an X on one side?
Because it has an X identifier, and the X identifier, well, the identifier is the line between the picture box and the ability box. It says it's a generic animal, and X equals the number of your demons. So if you have 5 demons, then the number is not X, it becomes 5. And if you have 1 demon, you have 0 demons, so forth and so on. So, evil enhancement side says discard all evil characters in battle to shuffle all lost souls in territories. So, it's, something we've seen before, and Orange is getting that piece of their puzzle back as another way to have that cheese block. And on the evil character side, it says you may discard this card to add a demon from territory or reserve to battle, which I see that as an extra use for potentially. I know a lot of people like to use Deceiver to go to their reserve exchange, but then Deceiver's kind of stuck in there. Well, now this might be a way to fish out Deceiver, because you can come into battle, discard it to add your demon from territory or reserve to battle, and then boom, then go back into your deck, get somebody else, that type of thing. But I think this card is mainly going to be used as an evil enhancement. And when it was spoiled, it was also mentioned by Joe Schaefer, who did spoil it, that you could use also Twice Afflicted from the not KNL, the INJ starter decks to get a potential second use out of it as a shuffle all lost souls card. All right, so, and then that's going to bring us to Angel of the Harvest. Angel of the Harvest is a 3 and X toughness Mono Brigade Silver Angel. It is a generic angel, and the X identifier is the number of your gospel angels, and the token that it creates is harvest tokens, and that I believe is going to be the same tokens as the Harvest Lost Soul creates. The ability on this angel is you may create a lost soul token in opponent's land of bondage. You may look at the top X, that's limit 7, and that's again number of your gospel angels. Look at the top X, cards of deck, take up to 1 and underdeck the rest. Cannot be interrupted. So, this is a card that you could take a battle challenge and turn it immediately into a rescue attempt with. And it just shows that the gospel angels are being built with a lot of tools in their toolbox for you to build them to where they can answer a lot of different things. And I know that angels haven't always had answers to everything, but it seems like they're getting a lot of answers here. All right, and this is going to bring us to our last spoiler of the podcast episode here, which is the aforementioned brand new spoiler that is being revealed to the community for the first time. And we're going to let my man Keegan read it off. Let's see if you can tell the people about this new spoiler, Keegan.
Okay, the name of it is called Burning Up the
Burning Up the Chaff.
Chaff. I never heard of that. It is a silver good enhancement. The numbers are 3 and 2. It's territory class. And the star ability says discard a evil card in a territory. The enhancement part is discard a evil character.
Discard all evil characters.
All evil characters.
In battle.
In battle, you may banish all evil cards from all discard piles.
Yep. So discard all evil characters in battle, and you may banish all evil cards.
Banish means you can't go back and get it.
Yeah.
Right?
Banish means it's removed from the game.
Okay.
Discard all evil cards in battle, and then you may banish all evil cards from all discard piles. So the territory class obviously only pertains to that last part of you may banish all evil cards from all discard piles, because the other one only activates in battle. And this card is the artwork on this card, because this is one that you guys haven't seen yet, and it'll get shared later on. But it looks like there's a small hut house in the background, but then it looks like where would be like where they would burn their fire pit or whatever. There's fire surrounded by bricks, like enclosing it. By the way, this also features some Doug Gray art. So this is Doug Gray art for my buddy John. But the scripture verse on this is Matthew 3:12. And that scripture verse says, his winnowing fork is in his hand, and he will thoroughly clear his threshing floor. Ha 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 ha. You see? He will clear his threshing floor, and he will gather his wheat into the barn, but he will burn up the chaff with unquenchable fire. So the chaff is what is not good from the wheat, and the threshing floor is the place where you separate the good from the bad. So it's talking about the final judgment where
I thought it was like evil people burning up the most important building where they harvest the wheat and stuff.
Yeah, it's a little bit deeper than that, bud. So that is the spoiler that is exclusive to the podcast here. It is called, once again, Burning Up the Chaff. And Keegan did a pretty good job of reading that ability off. He has struggled a little bit with his reading in the past, and so he's gotten a lot better. So it was nice to see him work his way through that. Pretty good job, bud.
Thank you.
So now we'll just have a little bit of a conversation with Keegan here about redemption, because he's been begging to be on the podcast, guys.
True.
He's been begging, and and I just keep telling him, the world's not ready for double Hendrix, okay? They're not ready for two of us crazy guys with crazy personality that
look the same.
I don't know if we look the same. I've got a beard.
Okay.
And you've got a mustache.
What? I do not have a mustache. You have a mustache. Daddy, you actually have a mustache. Right?
I know. I need to trim it up. All right. But look, let me say, Keegan has been around redemption a good bit since I've been involved with it, but it wasn't until last year at state tournament that he played his first tournament category. He actually played in sealed.
And I got first place.
He did get first place.
But my dad was the only one who played.
Yes.
And I beat my dad.
We had a couple of early departures from the tournament, and so I filled in just so that there was enough to actually run a game for the category. But Keegan played, and
For my winning cards, I pulled a new Zerubbabel,
the Builder, ultra rare. He pulled in sealed deck, and so his first tournament experience was him winning a category at a state tournament, or actually it might have been regionals. I think it was state though.
It was at Jeremy's house.
Yeah, it was at Jeremy's house for sure. But so he won by beating me, and I'm okay to lose that. But he also pulled his first ultra rare, which high five again, bud. That was cool. That was cool. So first tournament where he played a category. We weren't planning on him playing anything because I didn't feel that he was ready or whatnot, but he was given the chance, and since it was just playing against me and I could, take my time and make sure he understood things, and we played at his pace, and the cards just broke the way that they did, and he won. So
I beat my dad 5 times.
he has beaten me a good bit. He usually gets the upper hand when we play. Although his dream is to have a deck where he can have 2 Second Comings and 2 New Jerusalems, so he can really get the most out of his Son of God. And
No, I just said that as an idea.
right, and that's a bad idea.
Yeah, I don't know.
I would never stand a
That would just
chance.
yeah, no one would like that because then you could just get 4 free souls.
But your Son of God would get you.
Oh,
Although I don't know how you use 2 New Jerusalems unless, even if you were able to have 2 of the same dominant in a deck, you just had them both at the same time
imagine
to
if
copy. Because the copy. I don't know.
Actually, you would get 4 lost souls, and then the Second Coming would get you the 5th one.
Oh,
So then
is
you
that
just win automatically.
Nice. Okay. Well, let me ask you this: at Christmas, you got a little mic malfunction. All right. So at Christmas, you got your first box of redemption.
That you bought. I told Santa Claus to get me some because you promised you'd get me some when I learned to read better, and I learned to read better, and you never got me some.
That's because we were saving it for Christmas. You know that box of cards came from me and Mama, right?
Yes.
Okay. So,
I also got tools.
yeah, I get Keegan for Christmas. I get Keegan one tool or one,
Set.
tool type thing set. It could be like a set of screwdrivers, a set of wrenches. But
Last Christmas was a set of screwdrivers and all the stuff you use with screwdrivers.
okay. But the reason I do that is if I do that once a year at Christmas time, I buy him a tool. By the time that he is ready to move out, he should have everything he needs to, take care of most everyday, issues that he might run into. And, if it gets beyond just basic hand tools, then he probably should be calling a professional anyway. But when you open that box of cards, how excited were you to see that you got that box?
Really excited.
Really excited? Do you remember opening that box?
I remember having some good cards.
Yeah, but do you remember that you tried to get me to make a YouTube video?
Yes, and we actually did, but it was terrible.
We did, but it was so bad, guys. He wanted to put it on YouTube and share it with everyone, and it was just the quality of it was not very good. Every time we opened a pack, Keegan just got too excited, and camera was shaking, and
Also, we were watching my little cousin Madeline, and she was just screaming.
oh yeah, that was true too. So, do you remember what ultra rares you pulled out of that box? Because it was a box of Lineage of Christ Super Pack. So you got 2 ultra rares. Do you remember what they were?
I think one was Zerubbabel.
No, remember you got that at Sealed Deck. You have 3 ultra rares in your card collection. So currently, any cards that Keegan has, we keep those separate from my cards. So Daddy has his cards, Keegan has his cards. Now, after he got that box and a couple of
Except for
packs
the
that he had
sealed
gotten.
deck, New Jerusalem, we keep all the tournament winning
Oh,
ultra rares
yes.
in one binder.
Yeah,
And my dad has 3, and I have 1.
right. In the front page of my binder, all of our New Jerusalem winner cards, I've written on them there's a Post-it note. I didn't write directly on the card, but I stuck a piece of Post-it note and wrote the tournament date and what category it was for. So kind of like a little bit of a Hall of Fame for our, tournament winnings. Although that it really stinks now that New Jerusalem is not the only winner promo, because now I'm not going to want to do that with winner promos. But
At least keep it in there.
we'll keep those. Do
Yes.
you Do you remember? You don't remember what your ultra rares were?
No.
One of them was Matthew's Bagats. Remember, that's an artifact. And then one of them was David. What else is in his name? David what?
David, trying to remember something. David Hart?
David Hart. After God. Heart after God.
Heart. David Hart after God?
Yes.
I don't think that makes any sense.
It makes sense because the Bible says that David was a man who had a heart after God. That means that he sought God and wanted to please God in all that he did.
So that means if it was his life, he would sacrifice his life for God. And he was willing to risk his life. And he would put
He was willing to risk his life because he went and faced the giant and was trusting that God would give him the strength to defeat Goliath.
That was one of my favorite stories.
Yeah, David and Goliath. Well, guess what is one of the stories in the new starter decks?
What?
David and Goliath.
Jinx.
All right, look, let's get back to it. So I had a couple of questions here. So you opened that box at Christmas, you got that. So with your Zerubbabel that you got from Sealed Deck when you opened that, and then you opened a Heart After God, and then a Matthew's Bagats. So you've got 3 ultra rares in your collection. Do you think the ultra rares from redemption cards, how do they compare with the ultra rares or the more rare cards from Pokemon? Which one looks better?
Which one looks
the really rare cards from Pokemon or the really rare cards from Redemption? Which one looks better? Be honest.
I haven't seen her ultra rare from Redemption in a long time, and I just looked at a Pokemon card, so I'm not sure.
What do you like the most? Okay, I think you like the way that the Pokemon cards look better. It's okay to say that. You're not going to hurt anyone's feelings.
Probably.
Because
it has like a little like rubber, like it has like a feeling.
A texture.
Yes.
Yes, the texture.
And it's really expensive.
Redemption cards can be expensive too, bud.
Yeah, I know that.
But
my first card, I pulled a ultra rare Gyarados, and it cost $200.
It was valued at the time at around $200, yes. Although that was also, values change and go down after sets come out and cards are out for a while.
I also pulled a Rainbow Mewtwo, but we bought it from a kid who messed it up. So it was worth a lot, but it's messed up.
It's not messed up.
Yes, it is.
He had some other cards. We bought a collection from a kid, and one of the prize cards in that collection was a Rainbow Rare Mewtwo.
And a Rainbow Venusaur. And I think it was a tag team.
Okay.
Yeah, it was a tag team.
Okay. So, you've played Pokemon and you've played Redemption, right? So let's ask.
I played Pokemon more than Redemption because there's only one type of Redemption. That's card. And I play Pokemon card game. I play it Sword and Shield.
So like the video games.
Yeah, but there's no video games of Redemption. I think they should be a video game of Redemption. That would be epic. That
would be epic, wouldn't it? So let me ask you, do you like playing Redemption more or Pokemon more when it comes to the physical cards? Because you've got some Pokemon cards, and we bought the Pokemon Battle Academy game. It's like a board game that teaches you how to play the card game. We bought that and a couple of the theme decks, and so we've learned how to play. And so, what do you think you enjoy playing more?
That Redemption, you don't have to. In Pokemon, you have to add like certain kinds of energies, but in Redemption, you don't have to do that. You just put it out, and if it's losing, you can add something. But in Pokemon, you have to get enough energies to use a certain move. Say I have my Mewtwo out. I have a GX Mewtwo. Well, you need 4 or 3 energies to use its GX move. And you need the same energies to use its
So there's a
move.
couple of turns where you can't use your best hero or your best Pokemon.
Yeah.
But in Redemption, because Redemption doesn't have a cost to play, you can put your best hero down as soon as you draw it, or you go in your deck and get it with a search ability, and then you can put him down and start using him immediately. And that's what you like about Redemption? Is that you can use your better cards immediately and you don't have to wait?
But the thing I like about Pokemon is it's more challenging. I always use a Mewtwo, and I'm always like, why did I use Mewtwo? But then I remember its ability is to take away all the energies. And I use it against Charizard, and you have to have like 5 energies to use a move.
Okay, buddy. I think we've sheltered you a little too much if you think that Redemption is not challenging. So
It is challenging.
I'm gonna have to build a deck, and that deck that I built you with your Zerubbabel and your David Heart After God.
Yeah. Oh, it was really good. I also got Threshing Floor.
Yeah, Threshing Floor is in the deck. I guess I'm
And
gonna have to
Second
build a
Coming.
deck. I'm gonna have to build a deck that just completely obliterates that. If you think Redemption isn't challenging,
I think it's unchallenging because in Pokemon, all you have to do is like wipe out all of the opponent's Pokemon and try to get 6 prize cards, or you just wipe up all of their Pokemon. But I think Redemption is way more challenging because you're able to block it. And in Pokemon, you're not able to block
in
it.
Pokemon, it's just the active player doing stuff, and if your Pokemon's being attacked, you just sit there and watch it happen.
Yeah, you can't do anything.
Right. Most actual trading card games are built that way. Redemption is one of the few that lets you interact in the battle, being the person that's getting attacked. So, let me ask you this. So, I've gone to several tournaments. I've gone to Jeremy's house. You've met Jay and Jeremy and their
I've
brother
gone
Josh.
there 2 times, and I've gone to Tennessee 2 times. And
Okay.
I've gone to Texas 1 time, and I said, I want to go, and you keep saying no. And then on the last day, you said, you should have packed your bag.
Well, do you think you should get to go to Iowa for nationals this year?
Yes, I want to go.
I don't
I want
think
to go and compete with that really good deck.
I don't think the people here want you to be at nationals.
Well, that's
Because-
rude.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying you're just a ball of energy. Nobody will be able to focus, man.
Yes, they will, because I'd bring my devices to play on.
Okay.
Last tournament, if my devices were dead, that would be a problem. But there was another kid there, and I played with him.
Yeah. Do you remember when you made me sleep in the car at Jeremy's?
Yes, because I wanted to sleep in the car, because no one was gonna sleep on the air mattress, but then someone did, and I said I wanted to sleep in the car. So we watched Finding Nemo on my computer and slept in the car.
So we had an opportunity to sleep inside where there is a controlled environment. And Keegan instead chose, because he thought it was cool for us to have to sleep in the car, because it was a Friday night and Saturday tournament. And overnight, he wanted to sleep in the car. And he says it was fun, but my neck says otherwise.
That's because you weren't able to lay your seat all the way backwards.
Okay. Let me ask you, Keegan. Do you enjoy going to those tournaments with me?
Yes.
What's your favorite thing about those tournaments?
Making new friends and able to play sometimes.
Yeah.
And able to sleep in the car.
What's your favorite memory playing Redemption so far? I know you don't have a ton of them yet, but what's your favorite memory playing Redemption so far?
My first game I played and I beat you and I kicked your butt.
Yeah. I think the first time we played, you might have beat me like 5-1 or 2.
Yes, it was definitely 2.
Oh, it was 5-2?
Yes.
Okay.
You got the final last soul, and then I used the really good starter deck, the one that's good, not the one that has eaten by worms, even though it's my favorite character.
It's your favorite enhancement. It's not a character, it's an enhancement.
Well, card.
Okay. So you really like eaten by worms?
Yes.
Okay.
And it's good because it says negate a enhancement.
Yeah, well, look what the very next question I was going to ask you is, what is your favorite card?
What is my favorite card?
So that's your favorite card? You like that more than Zerubbabel? You like that more than
No, it's one of my favorites.
You don't like it more than the threshing floor, do you?
I just know about the threshing floor, but I like it better.
The threshing floor is pretty cool. It's not
It's actually people on like a threshing floor.
Yeah, like they're inside of a barn threshing wheat, and it's the artwork
I
that's
thought it
on
was
the
a cave. It looks
Nah,
like a
I'm
cave.
pretty sure they weren't doing it in a cave. They were doing it in a barn. But that's the artwork that's on the playmat that our buddy Rob is going to get, and that everyone else has a chance to get over the next, several weeks.
One time, my dad, he got a playmat, and he was gonna buy another playmat, but instead of that being his, I didn't have a playmat, so he gave me his, and it's Jesus' disciples on a boat.
Oh yes, it was the Authority of Christ that I got from
And,
Derek last Nationals.
And my dad has was it Thorns? Was it the card Thorns? I know it had thorns in it.
There's a lost soul called Thorns.
It was one of the ones they set to the side.
I don't know, buddy.
I can't remember the name. It looks like lava was everywhere.
Oh, the playmat, the Three Woes playmat.
Oh, 3 Woes. I know.
Which is from the
something like that.
Yeah, it's from like Revelations when like the earth is
when the rivers got flowed with blood
No, not blood, but there is lava.
and the animals all died.
No.
Wait, why did that happen again?
Let's just skip that thought. So, final question, Keegan. And this has been a wonderful interview. I've enjoyed spending time with you doing what I do as a hobby. So, I've enjoyed having you on, but I've just got one final question for you. Are you ready for this? Think about your answer. Don't just rush.
Oh, is it that answer you told me before? Do you like Pokemon or Redemption?
No.
Because I'd have to say between if that.
Do you think your father is addicted to redemption?
Yes. You do podcasts on Sunday and Monday because you have to edit it on Monday.
And you think I'm addicted?
Yes. You
I
probably are.
can't tell you guys like
And I'm always like, I want to spend time with you. And
every
you're like, I have to go podcast.
every time like it's almost set in stone now. It's Sunday evening usually. I know that we're recording tonight on Monday evening, but it's usually Sunday evening, and then Monday I edit it during the day in my downtime at work.
Sometimes it's not those days.
But lately it has been. And Keegan will have all day to do whatever he wants or to ask me to do whatever. But as soon as I'm getting ready to leave in the evening on Sunday evening, if we've gone to church or whatever, and he's had all afternoon.
I don't
and
know
then,
what to do.
And then I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to stupid podcast. I want to spend time.
One time,
It's all about making priorities. The podcast is a bit of a priority for me. Not that you're not, but you can't just sit around and play your Pokemon video games and then...
No, that's not the case. I was trying to think of something to do with you because I was in the mood to play Minecraft, but you don't like Minecraft.
So you think your dad is addicted?
Yes, to Redemption.
Okay. Is that okay? Do you want me to stop playing Redemption?
I want you to take a break from it.
Or do you just want me to start bringing you everywhere I go to play Redemption?
If it's a tournament, yes, I want to go.
Oh, so you want me to take you to Iowa?
Yes, I want you to take me to every tournament so I can compete.
Okay. All right, well, that's an enthusiastic 8-year-old and what he thinks about Redemption.
I'm about to be 9.
About to be 9 in June, yes.
We're
June
going to
8th.
the beach.
We will be going to the beach sometime around then.
With my friends.
So we're going to get ready to wrap it up here. And
Now, I want to ask, I want to tell them some stuff.
Okay.
So, my dad earlier, while we were in the kitchen, I was eating my food. He said, I have a question. Do you like Redemption or Pokemon better? But, some people think I'm like a all Pokemon guy because I have, a giant stuffed animal of
Gengar?
Gengar, and then I have Totodile, Sobble, Squirtle, Pikachu. I have a lot of stuffed animals.
It sounds like you're addicted.
I'm not addicted to that. If there's any game I would be addicted to, that would be Zelda Breath of the Wild because I play it 4 hours a day. If I don't have anything else to do, I just play Zelda.
Oh, okay.
And beat the game again. I'd probably beat the game like, I can look at the records and probably be like 2,000 and 1,500.
He has beaten it a bunch of times. And just to put in context,
It's really fun.
Put in context, he is homeschooled, so he gets his schoolwork done and he plays games some. So
Sometimes I go outside and play with my lightsabers.
oh man. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and wrap up the episode here. Thank you, Mr. Keegan Hendricks, for joining on the podcast.
Okay.
You want to say goodbye to the people?
Goodbye. Play the epic music.
All right, peace. All right, that's going to do it. Episode number 28 in the books. And I want to thank you all for listening. I want to thank Keegan for coming on and hanging out with me here. And a reminder that the Lackey Grand Prix is ongoing, as well as the Zoom Discord Invitational. So make sure if you're participating in those that you continue to do so and make sure you get your games in. And also a reminder to submit your form for the answer to this week's riddle. And also make sure you submit up to 3 reviews of the podcast on any other platforms where you can do so. And send a screenshot and get the extra entries into the Week 6 drawing for the final contender deck from Your Turn Games and the playmat. And as always, want to thank Covenant Games for sponsoring the podcast, bringing it to you guys. Definitely glad to have them aboard. And we'll talk to you next week. Peace.